Welcome back again today for Plot Off the Press.
Wow, and we're back.
We're actually doing two movies today, so we're not being lazy. Second movie of the day is Whiplash. It's an 8.5 out of 10, 2014 movie with a killer J.K. Simmons in it.
This is my favorite Ellen Page movie. I mean, because the roller derby, I really get into the roller derby.
It's Elliot now.
Oh.
Get it right.
The movie I'm talking about is Whip It. Anyway. Yeah, I know. I was talking about Whip It. The roller derby movie. Just yeah.
If you can't see, I actually have a poster from this movie on my wall here. Not quite my tempo. But J.K. Simmons movie. The movie is a musical movie, and it gives everybody a little bit of a light into the life of a musician. Not quite as crazy as this guy is, but honestly, not as far off as you would think, at least from my experience. James
is crazy in this movie.
Did any of your teachers ever?
It really only does a couple things beyond what I've seen real music directors do, like the slapping, make you play till your hands are bleeding all over the drum sets. But really, outside of that, I have seen people be this person.
He pays all that money for picture for Spider-Man too.
What have you had a chair thrown at you?
No, but I've had things thrown around the room before. Not at people. So let's talk about our rating. IMDb gives it an 8.5.
A read. I need to now. 8.3 or
8.5. Carter, what do you get it?
I'm going to give this a 7.5. And I'm going to explain myself to this because it's J. Jonah Jameson as an 11-teen in this movie. I mean, Miles Teller is not bad. You take him or leave him. And this is how I initially watched this movie is that I came home and just turned on the television and it was on. It was right as he was going to. He came in the room. It's still the very beginning of the movie, but I mean, like near the beginning, he came in the room and talks to the kid and tells him to be there the next morning at 6 a.m. Well, I was kind of cleaning up the house. I mean, it was just on. I wasn't really paying attention. And then when he tells that one kid, the one kid goes, "Hey, don't pull up too early. It's not your boyfriend's dick," or something like that. I was like, "Hold on, what? Like, what? Hold on, this guy's a fucking asshole." And then the next thing you know, I sat down and watched an hour and 30 minutes of this movie. I mean, I never got back up. But it's good. But I mean, like, I understand we'll get into it. The points, why he has a girlfriend and some of the family and the family dinner that they have.
That was awkward.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I get where they're going with the movie, but some of that stuff right there, I could have just not given a shit about. I mean, you have to have something to fill the movie in, but anytime J. Jonah Jameson's on the screen, it's just pure kerosene on fire. I mean, kerosene into a fire pit. I mean, it's just.
Do you mean J.K. Simmons?
Yeah.
J. Jonah Jameson.
What?
The guy that wants to kill Spider-Man.
Oh my god.
It's J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh my god.
What?
Different movie,
right.
bro.
It wasn't clicking in my head.
I just want to see how long I can say it before someone noticed I was fucking saying the wrong name.
I was just letting you do your thing.
You did my thing, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Casey,
what you think?
About you?
Oh my god.
Sorry. Hey Taylor,
Casey, what about you?
I actually agreed with you. Weird. I did 7.5. This was the first time I've actually ever seen it. But I thought it was, solid movie. J.K. Simmons was really good in it. And can we talk about how buff he was in this? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was never a big guy. Was he on I think he was on the closer.
I don't know. He really muscly in this.
Jesus.
Just change his face out.
Tight fitting shirts.
Yeah.
They're cool.
But I mean, so I've seen it once.
They're jazz shirts.
Jazz shirts.
Jazz
okay.
shirts.
I don't know if I really would want to see it again. I don't know. But I mean, it was good.
I've watched this several times. It's good. I mean, the ending of the movie is really good. I hate that it just fades to black just immediately. I mean, no other words are said, but I mean, the core of the movie is being really good at music and the drums in particular. So
and apparently they shot this movie in only like 19 days. That's crazy.
When he tackles J. Jonah Jameson, he broke. Call him
the right fucking name.
Okay, Triple J. Triple J is what I'll call him. All right, that's what I'll give you.
Okay.
He actually broke his rib. Miles Teller broke his rib when he tackled him.
I think 2. I think he broke 2 ribs.
Yep.
I think, if I read that right.
And it was Miles Teller's real blood on the drum sets.
Yeah, apparently he, I guess he already knew how to play the drums, and but then he practiced like 3 hours a day
for music. But so I'll give it. I give this one a solid 8. I think IMDb is a little high. I will say J.K. Simmons in this movie, JJJ, plays one of the best supporting characters ever, and I think that's proven by said over 47 awards he won for this role, including the Golden Globe and the Oscar for Best Supporting Character.
Smoked it.
Yeah, I mean, just really, really killed it. And like I said earlier, so I went to school for music. I absolutely know who this guy is. I've met him 100,000 times with different directors that I've been around. No, you won't find many that will just throw things at children, but you will find some that throw stuff around the room. They'll say some crazy, crazy, crazy shit. Like, I will fuck you up if you mess up my... But I really do enjoy J.K. Simmons in this one because it does give some flashbacks and the life of a musician, too. If you guys weren't really noticing, not just the time he spends in there getting his ass kicked by J.K. Simmons, but all the practice time he was doing. On top of all that, he had normal, regular other classes he was having to take because it's college, right? And so it's hard to get yourself in that mindset if you've never been there. But so let's jump on. Who's our favorite character?
I think we have the same favorite character, right?
I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
so
don't get me wrong. I do like Paul Reiser in this movie as Carter. I especially like it when he locks Ripley and Newt in the room with the alien.
Oh, shut up.
No, wait a minute. No, never mind. No, him and Helen Hunt and the dog. Wait.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you know what, then? That's what it is. That's the only 2 other things I've ever seen Paul fucking Reiser in. And then where do they find this guy at for this movie? I mean, he's fine in it, but I mean, was he like hanging outside of Home Depot and they drove by and they were like, hey, you want to come be in a movie? I mean, where else do you see Paul Reiser do anything anymore? No? Nobody?
I don't know. Fatherhood? Again, I've never heard of any of these.
I mean, he's still stand-up comedy.
Oh, no, he's in Stranger Things.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Is he in Stranger Things?
He is Sam Owens in Stranger Things, which I haven't really watched, so I don't know who that is.
We've watched 2 seasons, but I don't think we've... No.
Is he the doctor before Matthew Modine?
I've never watched it.
Who gives a fuck?
So let's talk about favorite scene then. What's your favorite scene, Carter? And if you bring up a Spider-Man scene, I'm gonna fucking flip the table.
How are you gonna flip the table? We're in 2 different rooms. No,
he's gonna flip his own table and not clean it up.
Flip it then. Anyway, so then I'm kidding. I'm not doing that. No, I think my favorite scene is the dinner when Miles Teller. I mean, because it just shows how he doesn't give a fuck about anything but playing the drums, and I think that's really good because everything again, all the scenes with Triple J and I don't count that because everything, like I said, every time he's on the screen, it's so good. Even when he's trying to be nice, it's still like he's really. I mean, even when he cries about the guy that died, I mean, he's just so good. So I try and focus on Miles Teller on this, just so because you got to have someone else in the movie, So that just shows that already breaks up his girlfriend because he's just like, look, what's going to happen is that I'm going to practice too much, and you're not going to like me and all this. But he even says, never, do you have any friends? Like, don't really need any. I mean, all he cares about is fucking music, which is, he's very laser focused in on that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but there's several, a lot of good stuff in the movie, but there's also, times where like I don't care about when they go to the movies. I don't care when he takes the girl out for pizza, but he wrecks a rental car. I love pizza. He wrecks a rental car, runs into the auditorium.
I'm with you though. I picked a Miles Teller moment too. The whole scene where he's trying to get to the show, and like the bus breaks down, and then he rents the car, and then he has a wreck, and he's like he's crawling his bloody ass up to the stage, and tells the other guy to fuck off. It's my show.
Fuck you, Johnny.
Really it gave him some depth that wasn't just him drumming for the whole fucking movie.
Well, he also has turned into just the same big of an asshole as Triple J. I mean, they're both fucking. Yeah. They both want one thing, but they just don't. They can't get out of each other's own way to figure that out. Even though Simmons does have a vision, he knows what he's doing. What does he say? The two worst things is good job.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's focused. But side note, because I forgot. Did we ever figure out whatever happened to that music? Did J.K. Simmons take it? That Miles Teller loses?
I think he took it.
I think he took it.
He took it to fuck with him.
Yeah, but I mean, does it reveal that? I can't remember.
I thought, when that happened, when I was rewatching the other day, I really thought I remembered him showing up with it later, but
I thought so too.
It never happened. Maybe it's a deleted scene or something. Casey Katakata, what do you think? What's your favorite scene?
I liked, and it's just a little scene in the movie when Miles Teller's watching Simmons, and he's talking to like a friend of his and the little girl, and he's being so sweet to that little girl, and just that way you see like, oh, he's not a complete asshole 100% of the time. So you see like a little softer side to him just for a moment, and then he sees it too.
He can take it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I like that.
Okay.
Because then when he walks in the room, it's like, fucking get in here, fucking ladies.
Yeah.
He calls the one dude Elmer Fudd. Tell me it's not you, Elmer Fudd.
Yeah, he's such a dick. I love it.
He went out of tune. You weren't.
Yeah, I do love when he's doing the tune thing, and he's like, he didn't know he was out of tune, and that was just enough.
That's just as bad or something like that.
That's even worse.
So let's talk about casting a little bit. I don't think any of us would recast J.K. Simmons, but for sure Miles Teller. Carter, you got any ideas on Miles Teller?
Baby, let's keep with the Fantastic Four and Chronicle. Let's go Michael B. Jordan. Bam.
I thought about Shia LaBeouf.
He's got a bad hand.
Well, this was before that.
No.
When did he get the bad hand? What year?
He broke it in Transformers 2, 3, one of them.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I don't. His hands.
I thought about him.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
I think he'd be too old.
No, he's not.
He's not.
He's not. I looked up their ages.
Yeah. What's that?
And then we talked about the dad. We can get rid of him, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean that would take time. I mean, we'd have to go to Home Depot and get another guy off the street.
What about just like Dennis Quaid? He'd be a good dad.
Okay.
What about Justin Long?
Oh yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
Though I don't think he could have played it serious.
Well,
and somebody that's also the same age and I just like him, Andrew Garfield.
That would be a good one.
I like him.
You like Andrew Garfield?
I do.
Second best Spider-Man.
No, he just cracked me up in that.
Damn it.
No, you're amazing.
No, you're amazing.
Huh?
Who's the first best?
Oh, it's Tom Holland.
Okay.
Tom McGuire third. All day long. Fuck you, Noah.
It's a different Spider-Man. That's not the same Spider-Man with Tobey
I
Maguire.
think Spider-Man is lame. That's what they call that.
He's a real bitch.
I just don't like him.
He's a real bitch. And fucking MJ, God, I can't stand he calls her MJ. MJ in the movie, such a slut. She fucks like everybody but fucking Tobey Maguire.
And then she gets mad at him.
I know.
Mm-hmm. How dare he?
How dare you? Why don't you go back to
And I
Interview
just
with
don't like her.
Vampires?
And I just don't like her either.
If she didn't eventually know that he was Spider-Man, she would have fucked Spider-Man too. Like he could have skipped the whole line if he just kept the spider mask on and fucked her.
Yep. She could have got that web slinger.
And that stupid upside down kiss bullshit. Ugh. I hate it.
All right. So,
like, what the fuck?
So let's jump on to director. Damien Chazelle, however you say it, who also did La La Land, did First Man, a bunch of writing awards. I don't think it's like a huge thing. Who really kind of fucking cares? But he's also the writer for the movie, and he's written a lot of stuff too, like Cloverfield Lane, Last Exorcism Part 2.
Ooh.
I know, right? He's been a producer on a couple things. But really not like a huge repertoire. But let's talk about.
Everything he does has been pretty critically acclaimed, directors-wise. This one won an Oscar. La La Land was nominated for, I think, Best Film, even though I don't know why.
Whiplash won a bunch of stuff. It wasn't just the one Best Actor Oscar. I mean, it won some Globes. It won a bunch of editing stuff because actually, to pay for the movie, he did it as a short 15-minute film to start with and submitted it at the Cannes Festival, I think. Cannes or Sundance?
Sundance, yeah.
Sundance, and then he got the money and went back and did the full rest of the movie. So I don't know, just the idea that you film a movie in 19 days and somehow win all these awards. So I have a few comments. We can talk about plot holes, but I had a few comments, just some random tidbits of knowledge. The guy yells "milk the cunt." I've heard this before in rehearsals, and it's the dumbest thing ever. It's to play tuning middle C, which you don't really tune with middle C. You tune with a B flat or an A. Also, Whiplash is one of the hardest fucking songs on the planet to play because of the time signatures. I've tried to play this one before in a jazz band somewhere, if I remember, and it was pretty terrible. But the way you count it is 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1. It's really fucking hard.
I just fell asleep.
Yeah.
I know that you're not a musician, but if you think about like
code for the rest of the show.
Are we just
1-0-1-1-0-1-0-0-0-1. Now, what I don't get about the movie is though the movie's called Whiplash. Whiplash is so hard, but the last song they play is Caravan. Why isn't the last song they play is Whiplash?
Well,
yeah, riddle me that.
It is
maybe
it's about tempo. It's about tempo, right? So Whiplash is one of the hardest songs out there due to tempo, tricky tempo. But Caravan is too. But Caravan is more about the speed rather than the complexity. Whiplash goes pretty slow, but you're having to count all this crazy shit in your head. It's 14/8 if I remember. So you're counting 14 beats in your head for every 8 beats. It's fucking crazy, and you have to play. But then you have Caravan, which is just at like 300 beats a minute, which is like.
So it just makes for a better drum solo.
Well, it was a pretty good drum solo. I liked it.
I watched it right before we came in the room here to do this. I mean, I fast forward the movie all the way. That end scene right there is great. I mean, and it's just I think so. J.K. Simmons, he starts playing and he goes from "fuck you, I'm gonna gouge your fucking eyes out" to, he takes his shirt off, shows the guns, and it's just, he's smiling, but it's just, I didn't notice any difference between him playing that and then when they were playing it in the fucking in the studio practicing. I mean, it sounded exactly the same to me. It just, more shots, longer drum
Because there
solo.
wasn't. And the reason you didn't see him do that stuff in the studio is because he wanted to pull the greatness out of him.
Oh, I mean, I get it, but I mean, at the same time, though, I mean, if he was giving it to him just the same way in the studio, if he had it then, I mean, obviously, like you said, two worst things is good job, but it seemed like he already had it. But again, it's not my tempo, not quite my tempo. So this is your movie.
Can we do quotes?
Yes.
Well, not quite my tempo. Okay. I don't think he was done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm done.
I was just at. Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm sorry if you weren't. I apologize. Well, we know how much I love Point Break, right?
Yes.
So my two quotes are going to be...
See you on the other side, Utah. What?
I'll let Johnny Utah play your part. I laughed out loud. I was like...
Fuck you, Johnny Utah.
And then the other one, hey, fuck off, Johnny Utah. Turn my pages, bitch.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's good stuff. Good stuff, I mean.
I guess any closing comments for you guys?
Well, what's your quote there? T-Dog.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh.
That's Taylor.
Nobody ever counts that stuff. I like all the insulting when he first gets there and he's yelling at the trombones for being out of tune, calling him Elmer Fudd.
Hilarious. Tell me it's not you, Elmer Fudd.
Really, I'll just say for the whole movie, all the insults he gives all the people, and I do like, I really like the scene with the slapping, where he says, "Oh, so you can read the music," and he slaps him again.
Yeah, all real slapping, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
It was slapping, and then they did it with. He was like, "Go ahead and hit me," and that's what made it in the movie. He's actually hitting him.
Oh, and then apparently the pig quote. You know how he's like, "I'm gonna fuck you like a pig" or something. It was supposed to be, "I'm gonna gut you like a pig," and I guess he fucked up the line, and then he didn't want it in the movie, but they put it in there anyway. So
that's kind of fucked up. They did it anyway.
Well, yeah. Let's talk about pig fucking. Anyway, so what you want to do is...
Hey, we're not talking about gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of... and I do like where he talks about, Neiman, you earned the part. Alternates, clean the blood off my drum set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem is the stool. And the stool's been the fucking problem this whole time. God damn. Johnny Utah sits down with, you really are Irish looking motherfucker. They call this, he really looks like a leprechaun or some shit. I don't remember.
I don't know.
He just, I mean, like I said, the movie's worth watching it just for Triple J. I mean, that's the same way in the same way that Casey likes Magic Mike just for the dancing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you just cut it down, I mean, you could leave all the other stuff out. You could just put every scene of J.K. Simmons and just cut out everything else, and it'd still be a watchable movie. It wouldn't be as long, but I mean, it would be fucking entertaining because he's just that great in it. So
yeah, if you haven't watched it, give it a go.
Yeah, so I'll close this out. Yeah, I agree. If you got some free time, go watch J.K. Simmons. Just be J.K. Simmons for a little while.
But it is on Hulu.
Yeah, and don't put Raisinets in fucking popcorn. Gross.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
It's weird.
Gross.
Well, who likes Raisinets? Ick.
Well, he's an old man. So back before they invented good stuff, they had to do.
That's all they have.
Healthy treat. It is not sweet. You don't put sweet things with it.
Well, I mean, I've actually.
And on that note, thank you for joining us today on Plot Off the Press. Look us up on YouTube. Look us up on YouTube and Spotify, and we will see you guys next time.
Hey, you guys.
Bye.